in Hong Kong questioned for 1 hour. Try having my passport. Annyeong guys, Amy here, aka K-Drama Dara, and welcome back to my channel. It's been long. I'm going to be talking exclusively about my immigration procedure. Filipinos, South Americans, Africans, rise up! Rise! I chose to do this video because literally every single video I kept seeing on the internet was probably fully in Tagalog and I didn't understand anything they were saying, or it was from Reddit where all the people that were telling me, don't worry, nobody's gonna question you about anything. You can guess where they from. Or you get what I mean, right? My first tip is expect to be stopped. If you're not stopped, good for you, but if you're stopped, hear this from me. I travel a lot, and believe me, at this point, it is clockwork to me. And what do you want here? What are you doing? What do you work? I could stop. Most people will start getting worried when they see the immigration officers raise a little flag or press a little button or something, and then now you have to follow them. Believe me, this is normal, okay? That's the most important thing you have to know out of all of this is it's a normal procedure. So they've pressed a little button or whatever and called an extra immigration officer, and that immigration officer is now going to ask you to follow them. Believe me, there's nothing to get scared of. If you're not going there to do anything bad, just follow them, right? They're going to ask you for 3 documents mainly, and they're going to have like little bits and pieces they're gonna want in the middle. The first document we were asked for, they wanted to see our return flights. Scenario like mine, you're a foreigner, an expat living in a foreign country, they're gonna want to see your forward ticket, but you have to explain to them, oh no, I live and I work there, which goes to a second point. They're gonna ask to see your visa in your passport. Document number 2, your reservations from the day you enter Hong Kong to the day that you leave. Make sure you have that printed out to make life easier for you. In my experience of all the countries I've traveled to, always having papers close by will make your process faster. So have all the documents that I'm going to mention in this video printed out, because that's what made our process smoother. In our case, we were going to be staying for 2 days in Hong Kong and then 3 days in Macau. I will talk about Macau in a separate video, but the immigration officer asked to see even the reservations of the hotels in Macau. So even if you're going to be crossing over to Macau, make sure you have all your reservations ready because they're going to ask for them. The next document they're going to ask you for is employment proof. Anything that you answer should have a sort of backup. So always expect to be asked. If you say I am self-employed, what if they ask me for proof of funds for my business? Do I have that? If you don't say I'm self-employed. If you are employed by your company, make sure before you leave, get a letter of employment from your employer, present your pay slip, your work permit, something that's going to show that you are employed officially by such and such company where you work. In our case, my friend didn't have a letter of employment, but she had her work permit, which the officer accepted. For me, I showed them my salary slip, which was enough proof. If you're a student, I'm pretty sure you can use your mom or your dad's bank statement, and then you just bring like proof, like your birth certificate that shows that this is your mom, they sponsoring your trip, or I think a letter that shows, okay, I'm sponsoring this person, whatever. You can look into that. The next thing they're gonna ask after employment is to see your proof of funds. Your proof of funds can be your bank statement, can be your bank book, or you could present cash. But bear in mind that cash is usually a bit tedious because some of these countries require you to declare money if it's past a certain amount. So be very careful with cash. Again, with bank statements, you also have to be very careful because sometimes immigration officers require a certified bank stamp on your bank statement. I showed my bank book, wasn't much of a problem. And now the questions. I've just mentioned the documents, and here and there you can kind of anticipate what kind of questions they're going to ask you. They expect you to know where you're going to stay, so we had to answer A, B, C. We're staying here first from this date to this date, and then from here this date to this date. Answer confidently. I was a little bit nervous, of course, but I wasn't presenting like, oh my god, I'm so timid, whatever. The other questions that we were asked this time was when we're coming from Macau. I will make a separate video about all the things that I did in Macau. Macau was amazing, by the way. I'll make a separate video about that. But when we're coming back from Macau, entering into Hong Kong to take our flight to leave, They asked us to show them photos of all the activities we did in Macau and Hong Kong. So if you are not a person that takes photos of yourself, please just take at least one photo of all the places that you're gonna go, because sometimes they'll ask to see the photos for what? I'm pretty sure they're trying to see if you're being consistent with what you're answering. So please don't look sus and not have any photos on your phone. Just have something that tallies the dates of your travel. My friend and I were discussing this, and we were talking about it because her brother doesn't take photos whatsoever, and she was like, can you imagine if so and so went there because they don't take photos? What was he gonna do? So if you're one of those people that don't take photos, at least take photos of your surroundings. All right, because they asked us, what were you doing here? And we told them, oh, we were in Causeway Bay. And they're like, let's see. And we're like, oh, okay, here you go. And they're like, oh, what else did you do? We went to Disneyland. Oh, show us this. Then this was our second entry, by the way. The last immigration tip I have for you, this is very, very important. I'm sure a lot of people don't really check this, but in Hong Kong, they don't physically stamp your passport. You get two little slips at the end of the whole questioning and whatever. That's equivalent to your stamp in your passport. Do not, are you listening to me? Do not lose those two. If you lose this paper, you're gonna have to now go physically to another immigration office to go and get it retrieved, and you don't want to go through that. It's gonna be this size. I'm not gonna show the other side because that's where my personal details are. The second one is a little small one like this. Yeah, this is the small one. Keep them in your passport. If you know you lose things easily, staple them into your passport so you don't lose them. These are very, very important. All right, please don't lose them. This is basically most of what they're gonna ask you. Maybe if there's something different that you experience, please comment it down below so that we can help other people maybe that are trying to travel there. In my next video, I will be talking about my experience in Macau and also my experience at Disneyland Hong Kong. So please let me know which one you guys want to watch first. Warning, in Macau, it was really, really like super extravagant. I know I said warning, but it was just like something that shocked me. I was like, what on earth is this place? How are people this rich, man? Like, rewatch this video, send it to somebody who wants to travel to Hong Kong, send it to your travel buddy, or just save it, like it, do whatever with it to make sure it goes to other people like me and you that were hoping to find information online, but everything was probably in a foreign language and they couldn't translate it. This one I made sure it is fully in English. If there's other information that you would like to know, please let me know in the comments. If it helped you, you can let me know in the comments as well. Happy traveling, guys. Until next time. Whoops.
Waking up anew, wasting time is all I do.